Staff and faculty can use MU Connect to review focused, narrowed, and specific lists of students based on attributes. Attributes populate based on information from other systems, like a student's academic level, their academic standing status, and more. As of January 2025, the Additional Filters button allows you to add multiple criteria using and/or logic to filter your list of students. This feature is available on the My Students and Tracking tabs within MU Connect. Adding filters allows you to narrow your list of students based on various criteria, including attributes, tracking items, or success plans. By narrowing your student lists, you can focus on specific student groups, making it easier to provide targeted support and track progress. To get started, go to muconnect.missouri.edu. Click Login. Use your MU login credentials. Click the menu icon, Students, My Students, or Tracking tab. When determining whether to use the Tracking or My Students tabs, please note that the Tracking tab only pulls students with tracking items, flags, kudos, or referrals, while the My Students tab has the additional feature of identifying students with a specific count of tracking items in the Tracking Items section of the filters. For this video, we'll start by using the My Students tab. Click the blue box labeled Add Filters on the right side of the screen. If you've already added filters, the box will be labeled Edit Filters. You can edit or use the X to clear them and start fresh. Click the Attributes tab in the box that appears. Click Add Attribute at the top of the Attributes tab. Use the drop-down box to select the first attribute and the value you are looking for. This attribute will be labeled 1 and will populate the corresponding number in the logic box. Click Add Attribute again to add another. You can add up to 5 attributes at a time. For every attribute added, there will be a corresponding number added to the logic box. From here, you can change the logic by using and, or, not, and parentheses. You can click anywhere in the logic box to erase, update, or delete the logic. There are many possible filters or logic combinations, including 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, 1 and 2 or 3, 1 and 2 or 3, 1 and 2 and 3, or 4 and 5, and so on. Once you've selected your criteria and have the logic updated as needed, click Submit to view your results. Here are some tips for using enhanced attribute filters. Within the logic box, use only a filter's assigned number, parentheses, and the terms and or. Do not enter any additional words or punctuation. And will narrow your results. A student must meet all the criteria listed. Or will broaden your results. A student can meet any of the criteria listed. Use parentheses to group or nest your filters when combining and or. Let's look at some examples of how to use expanded filtering. For the first example, you may want to search for students who are juniors, who are enrolled in the current semester, but are not enrolled in an upcoming semester. In this case, you'd select the academic level, enrolled in current term, and not enrolled in the upcoming semester. Using this logic, you'll see all students who meet all of the criteria listed. Additionally, you may want to conduct outreach to sophomores and juniors. Rather than creating 2 separate lists, you can use the logic to pull both groups at one time. You'll select the academic level sophomore and add another attribute of academic level junior. Since you want to see students from either category, you'll change the and in the logic box to or. This will allow you to see all sophomores and juniors. You can add additional criteria to further narrow your search. Click Submit to see your results. In another case, you may want to target your outreach to sophomores who have 2 flags. In this case, we'll make sure we're on the My Students tab, click Add Filters, and in the Tracking Items tab, check the box next to Students with Tracking Items. Enter the number of tracking items you'd like a student to have. In this case, we'll indicate 2. We'll make sure Active is selected and select Flag as the tracking type. Since we aren't interested in which flags the student received, we'll leave the rest alone. Then we'll go to the Attributes tab, select the academic level Sophomore, and click Submit. This will display all the sophomores who have 2 flags. In our last example, you may want to search for students who are first generation and who have an incomplete course or are a distance student. In this case, you'd select the first generation attribute, incomplete class, and distant student group. You'll change the logic to 1 and 2 or 3 to see first-generation students who meet either of the other criteria. There are many ways to use the additional logic to narrow your search results and provide targeted support to students with this updated feature. For more information and additional how-to videos, visit muconnect.missouri.edu or contact us at muconnectsupport@missouri.edu.